Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the MCR, also known as the Michigan Conservative Roundtable. With me this morning is Mr. Thirsty. He's filling in for TJ, who is busy doing other things at the moment. He needed a break. So, a Michigan judge, and her name is Judge Phyllis McMillan, and she is a Gretchen Whitmer donor. And why that's important is and I'll read the headline. Michigan judge and Whitmer donor rules that citizens are not allowed to examine voting machine tabulators without a court order. Now, I realize you can't have people going in there and taking things apart and yada, 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 but I don't see the problem with them perhaps taking photographs, which is forbidden. This is just another example of what they did in Wayne County. They kicked all the Republican monitors out, put up stuff over the windows so
they actually put pizza boxes up.
Yeah, they put stuff up so to hide what they were doing. Well, if these commercials, and I don't know if you remember these commercials after the election, but they were on if you watch Tubi or Freevee, they were on incessantly, telling you what a fair and above board election it was, the most secure election ever. But we're not going to let you take a look. Now, our Secretary of State here, Jocelyn Benson, wanted the machines wiped right away. Why would that be? What's the urgency? So this judge, she should have recused herself from this case. She's not objective. If you and I go up for jury duty, they make us swear that we're telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about the fact that we are not biased. They ask you, do you have any bias in this case? And if you say yes, you're probably almost certainly off the jury. So why is that standard not held for a judge?
Any judge that has any bias in any case needs to be cut. Is that not the law?
I believe it is, but when did Democrats ever care about the law?
You got me stumped on that one.
Well, they just in Michigan.
When it comes down to rules for thee and not for me.
Yeah. Well, that's
when it becomes an issue.
The story goes on to say, don't worry about it because you can just trust the results. Yeah. Okay. So Lou Dobbs reported that the decision lays the groundwork for a county prosecutor to potentially bring charges against supporters of former President Donald Trump. The Oakland County Circuit Judge, Phyllis McMillan,
it's got to come down to Donald Trump.
Well, who's most likely going to be the person questioning the election? That's going to be a Trump person like us. The Oakland County Circuit Judge said on Wednesday that she ruled that undue possession of a tabulator is always a felony in Michigan, not just during the ongoing election time frame, but before the results are tallied. So you're not to question their shenanigans, whatever they say. Because in Michigan, I don't think we're ever planning on having anything but Democrat-run politicians in this state ever again. People say, "Oh no, we'll get them next time." Well, I'll believe that when I see it. The Muskegon County prosecutor, DJ Hilson, has sought the decision as he considers whether to criminally charge a group of Trump supporters who allegedly obtained voting machines following the election.
Once again,
how'd that happen?
So, once again, it's always Trump supporters.
Well, yeah. Hilson's possible charges come after Attorney General, lesbian and communist Dana Nessel, said in August that 9 people allegedly conspired to improperly gain access to election machines. The group convinced officials in 3 counties give them 5 tabulators, which then took to the Oakland County hotels or rental properties, Nessel's office claims. I'm not talking. I don't disagree that people, let's say you and I say, hey, give us those tabulators, and we go off and do whatever we want with them. That would be improper, I agree. But as a group that challenges you, it's a legitimate group of citizens of this country and of this state of Michigan, the Wolverine state, We have a right to look at those things. And that, you know what? Any Secretary of State or any person who's got to hide stuff is automatically telling you there's something to hide and that they're not legitimate. So, you know what? When my dog runs and my new puppy goes and runs behind a chair, I know he's up to no good. Well, Dana Nessel, Gretchen Whitmer, Jocelyn Benson are hiding behind a chair because they're up to no good in the state of Michigan.
Have you noticed ever since Whitmer with the whole supposed assassination attempt and everything else?
Yeah.
You don't hear shit from her. You don't hear nothing from her.
Well,
you know,
we heard something this time.
she's quiet. I mean, she has been quiet. And the same thing with Jocelyn.
Here's one place she wasn't quiet when the Michigan legislature in the House and the Senate and the governor signed it, saying that if you misgender people maliciously, of course, and you know who decides it's maliciously? The person who's offended. If I say, "Excuse me, sir," and it turns around and it's a woman, I didn't deliberately misgender her. But if she thinks I did, now I need to go to prison for 5 years and pay a $10,000 fine. Of course, everyone knows where this is going. It's going to go to the Michigan Supreme Court and get struck down, or it's going to the U.S. Supreme Court to get struck down because it's a clear violation of the First Amendment.
So I was at the grocery store a couple weeks back, and name tag on, and basically like the old lady, I was there yesterday. I love my grandkids. You know, they want to have something to say about them. You know, whatever. I was there one day. They them.
And how does that relate to the grocery shopping experience? How does that help you as the customer?
Well, my thing is, I originally went to school for English. My first degree was in English. They them is a plural pronoun.
Right.
So when you say they them, you're speaking of a broad.
One person can't be they. In other words.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you educated?
No, I'm not. Not in their minds. I did not go to this university where I would be a dumbass.
I'm sorry. You know, the $1,000 in education that I spent is wasted on your feelings.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
That's what the Gretsch is up to here in Michigan. Oh, that's what editing is for. That's what the Gretsch is up to here in Michigan. No good. And you know, here's the thing, Mr. Thirsty. When you go to court, it shouldn't matter which judge you get, because they should all be ruling based on law, not on their feelings, not on their political desires, as this judge is doing clearly.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be brought down to how you feel on your bullshit.
Right.
You know, it's the law. It's the way the Constitution, because I've made it abundantly clear on this channel. I'm a constitutionalist. The way the Constitution sets it is the way it should be.
Right.
That's it. That is the law.
That's how it is, and that's the only way they should rule. That's what everything should be based on, is Michigan's Constitution and the United States Constitution, not your. Hey, let me ask you a question. Let's say we were a group of people and we made a petition to this Phyllis McMillan, the judge, and said we want to look at these machines. Would she give that order? I'm going to bet my life she would say, no, you don't need to see it.
Why are you stopping me from doing that?
Well, because it needs to be hidden, because it's a lie, and everybody knows it. So
that's what I'm saying. The only time you got to hide something is if you're lying about something.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, it's just like the husbands that's cheating, that's hiding the dirty panties. It's exactly what it is.
I don't want you to look at my phone.
Right. Absolutely.
So, all right, I think we made our point in this video, so let's wrap her up with be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.
Oh.